together. Okay, relative minor, relative major, all those kind of crap, you know. That was when I discovered it perfectly well. I now redo the music to fit in to that time.
You mean you
That's
did that tune
blackface.
again?
Yes.
Blackface.
And how we do it because of the reading phrase, the ostinato. You know, fella usually use this kind of stuff. They call it marriage of chord. We call it pandatonism. It's a marriage of chords. Sometimes you will see him playing maybe two bass lines. Another one is playing on relative major. Second one is playing on relative minor. You don't understand. But at the end of the day, if you can go deep into that music, you discover that this guy was toying with your brain. He's using the same notes, the same key signature, and trying to diversify it and try to broaden it for you to be able to understand that. And when you marry those scales together, the chords together, it still gives you a pleasant sound. Sometimes when you bring out keyboards, you know, for example, we are on C major. Now, the relative of C major is A minor. Now, that is the 6th degree of the 1st degree. Is the relative major. You don't understand? Do, la. That's it. Now, this is what he did. He will use that relative minor, that's la. He will use it as a chord, as an established chord. You do understand? And now turn that same la to be a relative major again, instead of it to sound la.
So, yeah, it's like it's playing with your brain.
Yeah, the guy is creative. The man is a genius. He opened it up for people to understand, but we don't really. We only
didn't get it.
We are only playing the periphery of the music. Okay, afrobeats, you just be running. Okay, harmonic minor. Some people even stick to natural minor
From the beginning to the end.
Yeah, Lati do re mi fa sol la.
That's all.
That's all. And they forgot that minor has 3: natural, harmonic, melodic. Fella use everything.
Fela jammed talent with
Sense of creativity, application,
and then knowledge.
That is
He
it.
went to school.
That two thing.
He went
That
to
is why I
school.
said, if you don't study it, you can't understand it. You can never be relevant. See, fella is late now. If you jam water anywhere, even for newborn baby, they will move.
That is water no get enemy. Yeah.
Yes. Just for them to hear the first instrumental. What I explained just now, what happened in that same music. You don't understand? So
The two extremes.
yes, but you know, the transition has to do with the knowledge. It's because even 50% of the generation does not understand that. They will tell you this is 21st century, copy and paste, man. Give us, in fact, they have this kind of slogan, simplicity makes sense, which derived to nonsense that making sense to the people.
That's a powerful one.
We're going to. No, I think we should dance.
Okay.
We need a breather, I think. What do you think? I think we should.
All right. So, by popular request, we'll take another music break now, and and this one we're taking you to church. Seyi Solagbade singing Hallelujah.
Let's do it. If I come and see the work of God in my life, don't be say I dey lie. This one I hell. This one is sweet, passing on the make una come and lick your own. As for me, I no go stop, I no go tire. I go to praise the vibe they go like fire, because the God that lives in me has never retired. He has given me the power to praise to conquer. My mouth goes up for joy, I no go carry on. By your name I do praise. By your name they sing my mind. No be say I dey lie. People are shout for joy, the King of Kings is here. Everybody praising. Glory, hallelujah. Because my this is one is city passing on the make una come and lick your own, oh, my friend, oh. Hallelujah, moge, sao. Ọpẹ́ mi pọ̀ o, mọjọ́ máa kọ́ sá. Kẹ́sánà, iye mo dúpẹ́ dáadáa. Sing fully, dance fully, mo press it over. Alágbàwí dàdí ayẹsà, ìjọ ọpẹ́ làmú wá o. Ẹlẹ́bùrú ìyẹyẹ ẹsẹ̀, orin ọpẹ́ kàmúdó o. Ó tàrẹ, ó mọ̀rẹ́, oríire àti bílíọ̀n. Ó dùn, ọgbà, oríire àti bílíọ̀n. Hallelujah ni màá gbé títí forever o. Hallelujah, lọ́wọ́ dídẹ́ ní kò lélẹ̀ délẹ̀ pátápátá. Hallelujah, ló tún lẹ́nu mi ò bàbá, ó tún lẹ́nu mi ò àti bílíọ̀n. Hallelujah, ó máa rọ́kọ̀, Olúwa ló ṣe yìí. Olúwa ló ṣe yìí, Olúwa kò dédé. Everybody praise, mama, papa praise, sister, brother, prayer. Make una come and sing. This is one is sweet, passing on the make una come and lick your own. My heart go shout for joy and no go carry loss. Now your name I go praise. Holy hallelujah, no separation. Hallelujah, lọ́wọ́ ti kẹ́rì wọlé lẹ́dẹ̀lẹ̀ pátápátá. Àkọsókè, àkọmọ́lẹ̀, hallelujah, máa fi dúpẹ́ òre o. Olúwa ló ṣe yìí, Olúwa kò dédé. Lẹ́sà, thank you Jesus. Holy hallelujah, àfẹ́mú kíkọ́, máa yí bàbá lọ.
Dropping the hits like boom, boom, boom. We are Boom Radio NG. Louder.
Hello? Yeah, I almost did. Oluwa Seyi. You're still our guest on Boom Radio, where music means just a little more and it's for excellence. Today, you took me back to the schools. You took Shola and I back to the training. And the craft of it was actually explained to us. I got a feel, along the line that music still has hope, and the entertainment field still has hope in Nigeria. The only thing is that we're in a phase now. We can't explain this particular phase. But this is a phase everybody wants, most people want. But how do we now go back to explain them that there is enough reason for music to hold its roots? I'm taking you back to that particular thing far away from Nigerian soil? How did we lose it? How did we lose it? Because there was a particular time we had the likes of Professor Akiyuba. And Prof, in his time, would ensure that not only would you go back to school to understand these things, there were live performances. You will see him at the Elekoto group perform. You will want to be there. You will be there. It was the time it was in Germany. But the fact is this, that these men left these footprints for us. And we're just clapping away the time and really do not understand why this is being so. But Seyi, I'm putting it back to you. You guys also walked away. What made you walk away? What made you guys walk away?
We did not walk away. I personally, I did not walk away. What I did was to, because before when we say something, you don't demand respect, you command it. You don't understand? And how do you command respect? Until you have that quality to do so. If you don't have that quality, you can't. You will just be like one person. People will just look at you and just walk away. Because you don't have the quality to command that respect. So what I did is to walk away, to solidify myself, to solidify my heart, and be able to stand out, to tell the people, look, this is what is right. You get my point. Because whenever you look at the society right now, music is now turned to poverty alleviation, escape route. You don't understand? So you see a lot of people. If Davido that has that kind of voice can sing like that, I should be able to sing now. And you see them doing something. If once a zoo boy can just come off from nowhere and sing nonsense that is making sense to the people, if you gonna see hello, all this kind of stuff, you see a lot of people coming into it. And it works for them. It's not because of anything, it's because of that particular spirit. That's why I said something in the beginning. This life is spiritual. There's nothing you can do about it. It happens. It's a natural phenomenon of life. It's a trend. That thing will just come. And everything will work out. You can see now, it is when we are trying to, do more of this Afro hip hop and stuff like that. Our tone is changing, and our artist is now being recognized by the Western world. You can see now that our boys are even, rubbing shoulders with the powerful, American artists. Now, it's because they are playing their music. One way or the other, they're playing their music. In fact, they are even doing it better than them. Nigerian, we are so creative. God gave us this kind of brain. Anywhere we are, anytime we want to do something, we do it. We may not be creative and trying to invent something on our own, but we can grab something in the middle and try to hijack it and make it to be our. So you can see that those guys are rubbing shoulders right now, but that stuff is seasonal. It's seasonal. The only thing that can make it, is a futuristic thing, is when they solidify the foundation. Trying to be versatile. Not, okay, this is the only thing that they do, okay, I should focus on this. No, be versatile. Understand every genre of music. At the end of the day, when that trend change, you'll be able to fit in. That is the way it is. From 2001, let's say from 1999 till date, Nigeria has produced a lot of musicians, hip hop musicians.
Yeah, a lot.
Just 2 decades. Within that 2 decades, you see them coming. Soja go, soja come, soja go, soja come, soja go, soja come. During that 2 decades, there are some musicians who has been there before, since 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. Why are they still relevant? Sonny Ade still go to the best shows in this country, pay more money for Owambe. Wasiu Marshall still relevant, and in fact is still growing. You don't understand? So why can't we ask ourselves, why are they being relevant? The reason is that there is something we call ethnomusicology. You mentioned Akin Huba. Is the one that is teaching them ethnomusicology in US now. And Harvard, Harvard, whatever. Ethnomusicology is a study of a particular society. It will bring out your study the way you are. For you to understand your originality. For you to understand your heart. And for you to be able to manage it. To standardize it. For people to see. For future to see it. And for the future also to seek for it and embrace it as new. But if you don't understand it, how do you present it to the future? Oh my wow, my law, you know. You get my point. They said music plus culture equals to ethnomusicology. That is what they mean. Okay, the music and the culture goes together. You can't separate it.
No, you can't.
So the Fuji music, okay, they want to develop it. They are developing it. Fine. But the originality of that particular Fuji is not being tampered with. You can still feel it.
The theme is still there.
It's still there.
Theme, yes.
Although they are playing,
The
they are trying to play a
New instrument,
1-4-5 kind of progression into it, like on this so-called high life forever.
Yeah.
They are trying to mix it together with the Fuji, and the guy is singing into it, and we call it Funky 5 Fuji. I laughed. I look at it instead of it to say, okay, it's high life Fuji.
Yeah.
You know, but fine, you cannot take it away from him. It's still what he said it is.
You know, being a musician yourself.
Yeah.
And you know, we call a lot of people musicians, but not all of them know music.
Yes.
But I use the word not loosely now, in specific terms. Being a musician yourself, I personally have a problem with the way Nigeria's music, the popular one, is being called afrobeats with the S. I know that is grammar now, or semantics or whatever, but again it also affects the music in the sense that Fela made afrobeat popular.
In fact, he personalized it.
Yes, you know, we know his history with James Brown and jazz music and high life, and we have a fusion afrobeat. There's some debate about him and Baba Orlando Julius. We're not going to get into that, but everybody knows what Fela did. We know what OJ did.
Absolutely.
We'll put that
different
aside.
thing.
And a little bit of history. I watched a documentary, fantastic work by Ayo Shonaya. You know, he walked through the process, and I still feel that he could have done more. I'm sorry, but they say that Afrobeat is influenced by iLife. It's influenced by Fela's Afrobeats. That's the Afrobeats now.
Hip hop.
Yeah, influenced by hip hop also, which in America is rap music.
Yeah.
I listen to a lot of sukus, Zygo, sukus, and all of that.
Okay.
And if you listen to one of my favorite artists, her name is Nehmy, Nehmy. If you can search for her music, and it goes, and you listen to the Afro beats, and that is what it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the beat that they're using.
Yeah.
You know, that's the beat that we're really using. To be honest, we just have our way of bringing Nigerian flavor into things. It's happening again now with the music that South Africans call amapiano,
Piano. Yeah.
which is piano music.
Yes. And that is exactly
With the beats.
what they are trying to transform.
Right now, Nigerians are taking over
Interesting.
amapiano.
Yes.
Interesting.
But I like the way South Africans have gone about it. They're not trying to fight you. They're just they're still doing their original amapiano. In fact, I'm working on a playlist. I'm doing South African and Nigerian amapiano. I'm going to be playing it every 1 hour
Yeah.
for the next couple of days. You would listen
Remember
and you will enjoy
You
it.
remember I told you that
Yes, you did.
Nigerians are not so creative, but anything that they can grab from the middle,
Once they take it, game over.
They go with it.
they multiply it. That's who we are. It's not that we are not creative.
Not like they're not good, but they know
We
how
are
to
good.
rework it.
We are
We
so
Nigerians,
we are
because we're all
endowed.
Nigerians.
Nigerians are endowed. I mean, in terms of knowledge, it's not that we cannot do something from the scratch. Remember when they brought this high life also from Ghana? Even there's still arguments that
Till tomorrow.
the music is not really emancipated from Ghana.
Yes.
It's from Nigeria
It's
to
Nigeria to
Ghana, and
then back.
come back to Ghana. Rex Longson, all those kind of people. But when we look at it very well, we know that it's directly from there.
Yeah.
You don't understand? So our music, that is our nature. We always look at something. Nigerians are not ready for experiments. We don't have patience.
And so what would you call the evolution of juju music and Fuji music?
Now, what they are trying to do now is to marry the two together. There's no innovation.
Yeah, but I'm talking about
Yes.
how it started.
And
You know,
this,
the history of juju, for instance.
yeah,
We know that even before they started calling it juju music, the palm wine music,
Papa music,
you know, the beer parlor, bringing a bottle and
Agidigbo.
Yeah.
From there, Agidigbo. You know, you see all this Fuji of a thing. You know, trying to marry juju and Fuji together. In fact, started from Shino Peter. Shino Peter, wherever.
His first ace
You
album.
understand? Exactly. You know, and he successfully, married the two together. The percussive side of the whole stuff. And if you look at all this juju of a thing that the people do now, is that same standard. And who created that? It's not really the Uncle Shino. It's the producer.
Laulu Akins. He was
He was
Mr.
the
Akins'
brain
job.
behind that.
It was Mr. Akins' job.
So can we take you
Well,
further back
Yeah.
to the innovations also that Sonny and Obe
Obey did. In their
brought
own-
into their own genre of music too?
True.
You see,
And we know that we cannot remove
you,
Uncle Laulu Akins from that
that
setting.
you can't.
You cannot.
No.
You can't.
No.
And there is this particular genius also. Is late now. Uncle Tokes. Tokunbo. Shotade. You knew him. You knew.
Shotade. Yeah. Shotade.
Yeah.
That one is also a fantastic.
What an afternoon.
Ha.
All these names are just
What a
coming up.
fantastic sound engineer, a producer. In fact, the brain behind Sonny Ade.
Sonny
Yeah.
Ade. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know his own advantage? he was a studio engineer.
Yes.
And then
And
production
he was a musician
I
before being
become
a sound.
engineer.
That's a dangerous combination.
very,
Someone who
very
understands
wicked combination.
production
Yes.
and a musician molded into one.
That is it. That's why you have those,
I
and
remember-
that kind of trend is still happening now.
Yeah.
When you look at those producers now, those ones that produce good music, I mean evolution music.
Can I mention one from this generation?
Yes, you can.
Don Jazzy.
Don Jazzy.
Jersey.
Don Jazzy. Although he cannot
He's a
sing well,
percussionist.
but this guy started as a musician.
Yeah.
Before,
In the church also.
like Kabasa Idowu.
ID
I
Kabasa.
knew Idowu from onset, from when we was so young. He started as a choir boy. Idowu can play any kind of musical instrument. You don't understand? He has been there when he was growing up.
And
Grown up together in Abule Oja.
And if you look at some of the things that he has done, like Gongwaso was him.
Was him?
It was him.
And you can feel that particular professionalism in that particular song.
That song was a
The
hit
nice song.
for years. It's still a
It's
classic.
still running.
The one for nice, right?
Yes, Gongwaso. In fact, there's a story that the song was given to someone else before, but the person didn't really feel it. Then he now gave it to Nice, and well, the rest is history. So you look at people like ID Kabasa, and you say yes, musician,
I have
producer.
one other young boy now. He's producing for Olamide also, and Segun Adenola Eskis.
Oh, okay.
Small boy. He's still my pianist.
Wow.
The guy has been living with me when he was just
A baby.
a baby.
Imagine.
And he was trained.
He grew into it.
You know, he was trained well, and now he's a wizard in terms of production and stuff like that. So if you can start, that is the way it is. If you can
the
start,
background.
the background must be solid. You got no choice. If your background is so based on, Fela says something. If you want to be a good musician, start from the stage to the album. Not from the album
To the
to the stage. Because the experience on the stage solidify your musicianship.
That's where you're certificated.
Exactly. Because you will know all the nitty-gritty of the movement.
Fela did not just say it; he did it with Femi.
Yeah.
He did it.
Femi Kuti.
He did it with Femi.
There's transition now. Transition until
Femi had been performing
That
on
is
stage before he even
transition.
released his
Before
first
his
album.
the first album. Yeah.
You know,
his first album. I remember.
There's this particular stuff. My daughter, my first daughter, she went for this popular
Talent show.
Access or something at LTV.
Okay.
She told me and said that I want to go and do something. I said,
Really?
okay.
The access thing was the program.
I don't really believe
Yeah,
in
it was
this
a program.
something. So
You
when
know,
she now got there, they gave her the opportunity to sing, and everyone was like, "Wow, where have you been? What happened? Who are you?" And the girl just said, "Okay, who's your father?" One of our boys now said, "I just called the guy my boy, but I don't want to mention his name." I said, "Who is your father?" He said, "My father is a genius. Yeah, he's a musical genius, radical like this." And he said, "Oh yeah, did I know your dad?" And he now look at the guy and said, "My dad is a Seyi Solagbade." The guy just shouted, "Eh? Wow, can't believe it." Like, yeah. And I laughed. Even when they were young, they were present. They must be present in my rehearsals. Not doing anything, just sit down and be watching. They perceive this new Ashake of me. It was my daughter that did all the backups for those albums. The female
Wow.
voice that you're hearing,
On Olalade Ashake's album.
all that female voice on that. Are you kidding?
You know what I did for someone recently?
Yeah.
Shay, I wasn't ready to play this song. So, let me continue. So I played a song from Musiliu.
Yeah.
Arina Shola. There is a song that he has with an Hausa singer. There's a song that he has with an Hausa singer, and the Hausa guy was rapping in Hausa on that song, and Musi was singing. I played that song, and I played an Ashake song for no reason. Ashake's background, I've not met him, goes beyond what you're saying. It's from Fuji to Akbala. Because when you listen to that song, you would understand what I'm saying. So your daughter worked on that album.
She's the one that sang all the backups. So all those things, you need to solidify your relationship. You don't have any choice. If you want to still stay there, you don't understand. So you must understand all the wings. So because that is what is going to make you okay. Ogawa relay. That guy, I've had him before, Okay. That means that's past.
That's past.
That's the way it is.
Alright, you're still with us. You are watching and listening to the Legend series, the Boombar, the Legend series. It's Tokunbo Ojekunle with his boy Shola Rogers and the musical genius that
his boy.
is Olusheyi,
With his boys.
aka Seyi Solagbade. We are really happy that we're doing this. We are putting this out for posterity, and we're setting records straight and shining light on things that need to be spotlighted. We are going to play a song that's smoking while we were talking. I don't want you guys to miss this one. The message also should not be lost on you. This is my wish for you. We're not living yet, but this is my wish for you. I don't know about these guys if they wish you anything different, but I personally,
Sorry, it's a collective wish.
now he's joining his wish with my
I
own.
must join it.
And this is what we, plus the guy that sang it, we don't know him. One Cheyi guy. We wish you what this song says. Take a listen, and we'll be back.
Ọmọ fẹ̀yìn ẹ̀ lẹ̀. Look at this shot is permanent. Your landlord do dey rent say make you park home. Say you hold am rent say you no be pay. Ló bá tọrọ kiri, ló bá fẹ́ kú kìkì àbí ó. Never worry. Hey. Teacher drove your children come up from school because you no get the money to pay the bills. Ló bẹ̀rẹ̀ ń kanra kiri, ṣó fẹ́ lọ kú níbi àbí ó. Never worry. Hey. Your lover dump you gonna cry. Ó fẹ́ lọ commit suicide, kò lè tó yẹn. In fact, ènìyàn bá kàn ní ènìyàn tún ló bá fẹ́. Ìyá fi yó, never worry. Never fear about me, no condition is permanent.
Alright, be happy is the message that we are passing to you. Tokunbo, are you happy?
Forget your sorrow.
Over happy because today's program has been so enlightening. I wouldn't miss a bit of the boom today. If we have missed it, you you have not missed much, but you have to play it back and see what you have missed. Shola Oluseyi has been so marvelous. Shola, I look back at the first time. How many years ago? Going how many years now?
Almost 20. More than 20 years.
More than 20 years. More than
Was the
20
last time
years.
you saw Sheyi?
Yeah. No, it should be more than that. 30 something years. 30 something years. And Shola, this formation, you do not know what you have done. I don't think you have appreciated what you have done today.
Maybe later.
Maybe much later.
Much later.
Because I just have a word for boom. Boom will continue to boom.
Amen.
Amen.
Because
Amen.
everybody listening will know that some education has been given out today.
Yeah.
And we have not lost it. We are almost losing it. But with the likes of Oluseyi, we will not lose it.
Yeah.
And with the likes of Oluseyi and the combination of boom, the future is bright. Because the entertainment scene is about to be rocked positively. And that's all I can say now. Because I feel so
Preach, Pastor, preach.
I feel so honored. I feel so honored to be here. I've not missed it. Yeah.
Thank you for your kind words and your words of prayer. And also, it's a challenge that we need to do more. Yeah, God bless you guys. Those of you, you see, we're sounding like we're signing out, right? It comes when you are fulfilled, when you have touched on most. We can't touch on all. It's not possible. But before we even get to that point, we have Seyi Solagbade in the building. It's not a small thing, right?
As they say now, no be yam.
Now, there are a couple of people who still believe that they have talent. You talked about needing 3 things, if not 4. You know? Talent.
Yeah.
Then knowledge.
Creativity.
That's the creativity. Then the application of
Application.
all of them, you know,
Fuse it.
to fuse it to create something really huge, and which becomes something that will outlive you.
You also need the passion.
Because a lot of people will go with the current thing, and that's the end. There's nothing wrong with it if that's your thing. It's fine.
It's fine.
Do
You
it.
make money,
That might even be your calling.
and you can
You know?
still keep the money.
Yeah, Abby, it's your money.
It's your family.
But if you want to do something that would, outlive you, that we will be talking about, and people will still talk about years after, like Fela now, you need to put in a lot of work.
Yeah.
So, as a musician, as someone that knows music, that plays music, that writes music, what advice would you give upcoming artists or even current artists who are out there? Well, what are the things that you want to tell them?
It's very simple. Keep it real. That one is one. Keep it real. Never being carried away with the sweetness of the honey. It could be onyigan. It could be onyirege. You understand?
Whatever on it is.
Don't be carried away with it. What am I trying to say is that all the so-called glittering things around you, fame, money, stuff, don't be distracted by those things. They will come and go. You still have yourself. Just keep your focus. Do what you are doing. And try to keep it real. Try to do the best thing. Don't compromise. Because you will definitely repeat in the future. Because that thing will stand for you. Than to just join the bandwagon and think, okay, fine, this is what is trending. Okay, let me do my stuff, all those kind of yup, or it will come and go. Oh, it is true that you make your money, cool. But it's better for you to, even when you make the money, you keep the money and be able to invest on it. That is if you have the brain to invest. You don't understand? Yeah. Because most of our new generation people, they believe in this kind of, they can share all this kind of stuff, but they don't know that time is gone. time away from nobody. So it is what you do now. We speak up for you in the future. That is the way it is. So just keep everything real and don't be distracted.
Okay. A couple of years ago, Seyi Solagbade, now known as Oluseyi, was speaking to a journalist. He granted an interview, and the journalist referred to Seyi as a gospel artist. And Seyi Solagbade said, "No,
Yeah.
you can't say that, right?"
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Oh, babe. They always spend to everything down. So you think don't worry, I'll quote you later.
Well, I don't know what happened though.
Things
But right there, right now, the man sitting beside me is a gospel artist.
yeah. Sometimes
So tell us about that
yeah,
that
the
transition and that process,
you know,
yeah.
and it's when you believe in your strength and you focus more on your beliefs, if those things are not working fine and the way you think it is, I think it's better for you to change your rhythm, in a way that suits your creator. My own story is very complicated, and this kind of, I'm a realist. I was a realist. In fact, I still have that trait in me, because I believe in what I see and what I touch. You don't understand. But of recent, I had this kind of encounter with my creator who tried to open up okay, this is where you belong. This is your thing. I own you. Even if you want to do your stuff, that is your own palaver. This is the mission for you. Even though people call me now, they said, okay, Mr. Seyi, okay, evangelist, I stopped them. Don't call me an evangelist. I'm not an evangelist. Why will you call me an evangelist? Do you know that criteria to be an evangelist? I'm still a sinner. I'm trying to change.
Simply Oluseyi.
Just call me Seyi Oluseyi. So if you want to respect me, you can put BRO, bro. That is it. Because it made me to understand the importance of that talent that is in me. What he wanted to use it for. Before, I think my own is to just speak out the truth, teach morals, and face the reality of life and play my music. That is all. But it's made me to understand more. Open it up. This is for you to win souls. How do I win souls when myself I need to be saved? You don't understand.
Reality talking right now.
That is the reality. I need to be saved because I'm not worthy to be called this kind of, because I know where I'm coming from, But it doesn't care about that. Just tell me, this is what I want you to do. Do it. If you do it, let's see what is going to happen. And like 12 years ago or 15 years ago, I was reluctant a little bit, to do it because I so much love that African thing. But I was mixing it up.
Yeah, I know.
I was mixing it up. I don't understand. Okay, you don't know. Oyinbo, they've already destroyed our sense of reason. I'm telling you, they use their corny way. I don't know how they did it. They've destroyed our sense of reason in Africa. You don't understand. We always mix things up. We can't differentiate between the reality and the spirituality. Okay, everything is fetish. They are trying to tell you it's fetish. Even the master will be some people who don't understand Yoruba. Zimbabwe Helsinki. You don't understand.
You only
They will
categorize
tell me,
it.
what is this? You
Yeah.
are speaking so fetish thing.
Yeah.
And we are speaking like my language.
My language is now fetish.
My language is now fetish. Now you listen to so many gospel musicians. They will say, okay, Yagbo Yaju, Okunrin Ogun Akiniko. They are referring to God.
God, yeah.
To them.
Mm-hmm.
They are referring to God. But they are calling another name. Yagbo Yaju, Okunrin Ogun is not God. Yes, now.
It's not.
It's Shango now.
That's Shango.
It's because they don't understand the language.
That's Shango.
They just jump on it.
That's Shango.
Because they say, okay, this is Oriki.
The attributes.
Let me use it.
Attributes of Shango.
How will you say Yagbo Yaju? Belongs to gods. Our gods.
But they don't know.
They don't know. Why wouldn't you know? This is your language.
So, in essence, not every oriki that people use for God is for God.
Yes.
But you're angry that some people think that even you that know the difference is making the mistake that those people are making. Because the people criticizing also don't even know the difference.
They don't know the difference.
My people perish because
They
of
lack
wisdom.
knowledge.
How do we get it right?
How do we get
that's-
it right?
that's just how do we get it right?
We need
Because-
to go back. We need to go back. Do more of research. We don't have patience in this country. It's not in our blood to experiment. That's our weak point. We love jumping.
Straight
don't-
to the answer.
Yes, we don't know how to grow.
The process.
And if you jump, law of gravity will definitely.
Come down again.
Anything that goes up must come down. But anything that grows stands. Because it has roots.
The ground.
You don't understand until we learn to do research. Experiment. After experiment, you get results. That is the only way we can solidify our entertainment or art sector. Even not only art, generally in Nigeria, because that is exactly what is giving us problem in this country.
Alright, so look, it's what we wanted it to be and then some, and it still is. We are talking about music in the church now.
Yeah.
There is a thin line between secular music and gospel
And the sacred music.
It's a very thin line.
Very, very. In fact,
It becomes
Thin?
so blurred that at times you don't know the difference.
oh God bless you for that. For that.
What do we do? How do we do it? If there's anything we can do.
Do you know what? The problem is that everything has been commercialized. Everybody wants to make money. Forgetting that there are certain things that must not be mixed. There should be difference between secularity and the secretness. They cannot work together. Now, even all the churches, look at all those musicians. In fact, the most popular musicians, all the popular gospel musicians. If you don't play something aggressive for the audience, even the audience will not appreciate you because they want to dance. You don't understand? Even those ones that are playing slow music, which they call worship, whatever.
Yeah, worship.
Go and listen to those music. Is R&B?
That's very true. That's very true. That's very true.
What we call American gospel music. You don't understand. You see all those stuff, the chord progressions, tritones, all those stuff is being developed in the club. Was being developed in the club. Fine. You can use it in the church.
Club music, you mean?
Yeah, club music, the chord progression, those tritones and stuff like that.
A good example is R. Kelly.
Oh,
You look, there are about 3 or 4 songs
Oh,
from
sure.
R. Kelly that made it big in all the churches
Yes.
globally. You can't call him a gospel artist, but God used him because those songs were made for the church.
In fact, it's more gospel than.
The storm is over.
It's more gospel than.
Storm is over
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
You know, so all this music,
I could fly.
you see,
Very, very.
we just need
impactful songs, yes.
to understand those elements. This is what is meant for he, and this is what meant for thee. Try to differentiate it. But in this so-called time when everything is being commercialized, you don't understand. It will be very difficult to do that because the expectations were high, in fact, because they will tell you what the audience wants. As a professional, you just got to give it to them what they want.
So we have them dictating the pace for you indirectly.
Indirectly.
You have your commercial
Who is
sponsors.
them? Who is
You
them?
you have your commercial sponsors
Thank you.
running after that.
Yeah.
You have your business partners running after that.
Absolutely.
Okay. You also have. I have something here that I wrote down. You also have the audience dictating
In fact,
or directing the
those
thoughts for
one
you,
carries almost 60% of this interest,
because that's where the money is coming from.
because that is where the money is coming from, and everybody is looking at the market. What is pushing? What is going on? You will see some, especially you see some juju musicians. When you get to their churches, they will call them an evangelist. You invited them to church. You see some guys who play band music. They call them, and they are the most popular artists. They call them for big crusades. And you see guys, okay, Bese, Kiniko, Omar Figiniko, radical Christianism, all those kind of stuff. Now, because it's a commercial thing, people want to make money, not because they want to serve God, not because they want to preach God to the people. They were doing the stuff to make, go to so many Pentecostals right now. If church is not at section, the venue of that church is making money.
Okay.
The church may be renting out the hall for functions. If it has sort of place that is separated for God,
Secreted.
a secret place. What kind of money are you looking for? You understand?
Yeah.
What are you looking for?
So, in fairness,
So all those things.
in fairness to them,
Yeah.
could it be the other way around? Like churches that rent such spaces that they don't own it, but they use it for their midweek and Sunday services.
Some use it for. I said if they are not in section, they rent it out.
That means they own it.
They own it.
Okay.
Wow.
They own this place.
That's
If you want to rent out hall,
at least separate from your
separate
worship.
it from the worship something. They don't. That is the new trend of Christianity and whatever you call it. That one. That one is aside though. You don't understand. They will tell you, okay, this is what we want for Sunday service. You don't understand? I want you to go and score this particular music.
Really?
Yes, that's the way it is. They scored music. Musicians. All musicians, all gospel music, albums and stuff like that. That was what the choir busy doing. They don't write their own songs. You don't understand? So everything is commercial. Some people may listen to this and said, okay, why we said you have to develop, you have to, you know, it's level of the thing, you know, you move from one thing, how do you sustain the church and all this kind of stuff? Those are the excuses, you know. And guys are making money from online. Each service is making money. Because how many people streaming your stuff? You're making money. You don't understand?
Yeah.
So from that, if they can have that kind of mentality, they can bring anybody to come and do their jam. Once you are popular, once you are known to drive traffic.
Traffic, yeah.
This thing is business. It's commercial. To drive traffic, for people to watch it on YouTube and all stuff like that, bring known artists, whether he has spirit or not. As long as the music is accepted.
Whether it has spirit or not.
You don't understand? Put him on stage or half stage, and people will stream this stuff. And you have more streams. And more money will come in. And the church will get richer. Business senses, six senses. It is true, it's cool. But we need to separate some things and come to reality. What does God really want from us? Are we really working for God, or we are working for our pocket? You don't understand. So it is difficult. It will be difficult for you to change the trends. Even in the white garment churches, those ones are crazy. Sorry to use that word.
Yeah, we understand what you mean.
You don't understand. So because you know, it is what I experience every day. Every day.
I saw a video of a very popular Fuji artist in a
performing.
Yeah, I was
in a church.
I was shocked.
In a church. So all those kind of things, it's not because they want to win souls. Even church.
It's a show.
Even church now has turned to a place that, drive away souls.
Rather than bring them
closer to God. Because a lot of things that are happening there is nothing to write home about. Just once you put your heart into it, you know. So our structure we have to check it. Try to meet agreement. Come to reality. Is this fitting for the church? Okay. This is for secular. This is for sacred. Let's separate it. That is when things can get right.
Do you see it getting right?
I don't see it though. For the next two decades.
or more. Or forever.
I don't see it.
I don't know. Is there?
Because we are growing more into it. Because
It's becoming more
hearts-
appealing to
yes,
people.
it's more appealing to people. Now, if you come to any place, it depends on how free-footed you are. When you said, okay, oh, holy God, blessed be your holy name. You are worthy to be praised. Before you end the song, if you are filled up with the Holy Spirit, things will happen. So those are the only people you can see, okay, people will listen to because they know the implication of what you're doing. But the rest, there's a Sazu, even Sazu
In the church.
So what's the difference between club and church?
I think the difference is the time of day.
Hey, it's the time of the day. You know.
You've answered the question. Do you see Uhuru? No.
No.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know if Tokunbo has any.
Yeah, I was going to go, since we're a bit spiritual now. Oliseye, are you a child of prophecy?
Yeah. Yes. When I was small, you know, my mom usually trying to sing some story to me. Then I don't really believe in that kind of stuff, until, but God lets me, let go of me, left me where I am, so do what you want to do, satisfy your mind, satisfy your desire. Okay, when that time comes, just show it to me. Look, you are here for a particular purpose. I cannot really open up something. Yeah. This is the purpose for you. Those people that know me, they knew that I don't really tolerate all this so-called, okay, you are Christian religion of a thing. I don't like it. I don't even want to discuss it. I don't like it. Before, I'm this kind of, people even think I'm
atheist.
Exactly. So, but until God ministered to me and said, look, bros, you need to wake up. If you don't move to this path, you cannot move anywhere. You just stand there and be okay, you know. And since when I decided to follow that path, don't let me lie to you, there's this kind of change, a huge change, you know. I remember when I was staying in London, so there's this particular friend of mine who will come to me. I was just playing, you know, talking. She was a lady. They trained her to be a old lady. You know, she's not in Nigeria. And now, look at me. Suddenly, the lady just stopped and said, Shay, do you know? He said, okay. She said, Shay, what are you doing here? I said, what am I doing where? And this is my house now. You are here to marry with me, meeting. I said, no. You're not supposed to be here. The girl she said so many things which I cannot. Reality thing. Even from where I was coming from to the present. And this girl was just an ordinary girl. It's just an ordinary girl, you know. We just met, you know, play, you know, this kind of stuff. It makes sure my real name, the four names, make sure the name of my mom. It was just standing like this. We went to trance. She went to trance. After after giving me all those messages, he come back to ourselves. I was just talking, from where we stopped.
Where you left off.
You know, so, hey, we need to go to Otsu and do something. I just look at the girl like this. Okay, I got you. Thank you. Got you. Just left. The following week, I left London. Ran back to Nigeria. That was it.
Wow.
follow my path. Now is the ultimate thing for me because it works for me. So I can say, hey, I'm a child of confidence.
Yeah, the question came because I don't think you ever thought of writing a book.
Yeah. I've not.
Because all this is a documentation, really, just as Shola said, and I agree with that. Because you said more than the music thing for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll put that into.
Think about it.
I'll think about it and see what I can come up with.
All right, so that is it for us at the moment. Please, I'm emphasizing at the moment. We're just gonna ask Seyi about his new album. He's gonna tell us about it. Then we'll round up. Then we know that when the time for activation comes through, we know where we're going to drag him from. And we know where we're dragging him to.
Yes.
We're dragging everybody to one place.
To one place, one location.
Yeah. So tell us about the new album.
I've started compiling some albums together since I've changed my mindset now. Right now, I go straight to spiritual music, not so-called gospel stuff, but spiritual music.
There's this difference.
Yes, because I don't really talk about praise, all this praise, worship, all this kind of stuff. Talk about the reality of life. I'm trying to let you know who you are and what you can do. Anything abstract, artistic, I talk about it also. Yeah, I've been compiling some albums together past, let's say, 12 years ago. So right now, what I do, I usually do live music. I do live programs. I call it a Christ Cafe. So every month, I go online, we play music on live programs.
You're jamming live.
I'm telling you, one is still on. The recent one is on YouTube.
Wow. Okay.
In which I perform banjo. It was something else, because I love showing off that African beauty in me.
Yeah.
I don't care what you think it is. I just want to show it off and see there is beauty in this thing, and I'm far, 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 far better than what you think you're, whatever. So that's what I do now most, and most of those songs, all the audio files will go online so people can get access to it. The visuals also go online.
Where can people find the audio files?
It's on all
The digital platforms.
Boomplay, Audiomack, iTunes, Apple Music, and stuff like that.
They'll find it Seyi Solagbade.
Just
Christ
type
Cafe.
Seyi Solagbade or Oluseyi.
Oluseyi.
It will bring it out. Especially on YouTube also. Seyi Solagbade or Oluseyi, it will bring everything out for you. And it's good. So those are the things I do now. It's good.
Alright, so if you are trying to get more of Seyi, please just go to YouTube, type Seyi Solagbade, Oluseyi Solagbade, or just go to Google and it will link you to videos, it will link you to audio files,
Yes.
and even stories about him and everything. The beauty of it is that we are in the presence of greatness, and we're glad that we're able to bring him to you guys to hear his voice and
Absolutely.
hear part of his story.
Glad to be here.
And we hope that when next we ask Seyi to come through, he will definitely honor us with his presence again.
I'm all yours.
And in going forward, there are a lot of things that we plan to do, and we hope that when we're going forward, of course, again, we'll hijack it. So on behalf of myself and of course the rest of the gang, I would say thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and especially to Seyi, thank you for coming through.
Thanks for having me.
And I know Tokunbo wants to also say something.
Seyi, thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you. We learn every day.
Thanks, sir.
And I'm so happy to see you again, to meet up with you again, catch up with you again.
Thanks so much.
And the sky is beyond the limit, so beyond the skies.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
All right, that's our show. Don't move up.
Leave there.
You go away.